In this first look video from InfluenceWP, we are checking out a WordPress plugin called Bit Flows. This is going to give you automation right within your WordPress website. So if you've ever used a solution like Zapier or Zapier, however it is that you pronounce it, this is going to be very similar to that. But like I said, right within your WordPress website rather than on an external SaaS application, for example. Before we poke around the website here a bit, and then look at the actual solution together, just a quick bit of housekeeping. First look videos cover products we have no prior experience with. They show vendors how new users experience their website and product for the very first time. These videos are unedited, high-level introductions that are not paid for, they're not sponsored, and they contain no affiliate links. If you would like videos like this created for your business, go to influencewp.com/partners and request your free lifetime partner membership. And we thank BitApps, the team behind BitFlows, for being a partner. If you like what you see in this video, go over to our website, find the deals area, and do a search for BitFlows to grab an exclusive deal. Alrighty, so the website we are dealing with here today is bit-flows.com. So that bit-flows.com. Just want to reiterate, this is a high-level introduction to this solution. There is a lot going on with this product that we're not going to be able to cover all of it in a high-level introduction. So I just want to really drive that home. I also recommend that you go to the website and check out the demos to really see the true power of this solution. I checked them out before hitting record just to get a lay of the land. So I recommend you do the same. So what I'm going to do here is we're going to rattle off the features so we don't miss any when we go to actually look at the solution together. And then I want to look for some key pages like an about page, changelog, documentation, things of that nature. Okay, so right off the top, I see a features link at the top of the page. So I'm just going to click on that. I'm just going to rattle these off. Connect unlimited platforms, integrate with over 207 platforms currently, drag and drop visual canvas, which we will look at together, custom triggers and actions. So you got an app on one side. When something happens, an action happens within that app, you trigger an action on the other side within another app, for example. So that's what that means. Cost savings. That again, compared to a Zapier. You're going to save money using a solution like this rather than paying those monthly or yearly, however it is that they bill, those fees. A powerful logging system, unlimited flow execution, BitFlow's supported tools, so you can use routers, you can use conditions, delays, iterators, and repeaters. We won't get into all of the weeds there on that type of stuff. Some of them are pretty obvious, like a router, like when something happens, you want to route it to a different action, for example, or to take it, whatever it is you want to route it to, it's just a router. We'll probably see this together. Conditions, pretty self-explanatory. If a certain condition is met, go here. If another one is met, go here. Delay, self-explanatory. It's delay in action until a certain time period, for example. Iterator, I'm not sure exactly what that does without looking. More advanced than something I've ever done with automation personally. And then repeaters, self-explanatory. You need to repeat an action. Advanced conditional logic. So if this condition's met, do this, and then advanced, right? So add intelligence to your workflows with advanced conditional logic. So by advanced, I mean you're going to be able to do more than I'm even doing it justice right here. Route data dynamically and automate decisions with ease using math, strings, and system functions. And also at the top, they have a nice breakdown right here. I didn't notice that before. A nice breakdown of what these are. So here's the iterator. Break down complex data sets into smaller, manageable parts using the iterator tool. Ideal for batch processing, inventory management, or looping through data sets effectively. Okay. Also, I noticed at the top here, they have an AI integration in here. So when you are talking about your actions, you can use one of these AI tools to help you with those actions. So that is super cool. Okay, so that's the features. Let's look for some documentation. Looks like that is the documentation. Let's go to the footer. Let's go to this about page. I'm also looking for a change log. Not seeing it. Maybe it's in the docs. Okay, let's go over to the user guide / doc. Looks to be some good documentation. Let's click on this first link. We've got screenshots with annotations and some GIFs. So this looks to be good. Let's just do a search for WooCommerce, just to pick something. All right, we've got integrations guides, how-to guides, automation tips. So really, really nice documentation. Okay, here's the change log. I love that they're not, there's dates along with the version number, and this is like a really pretty change log. I would like to see this change log brought to the forefront down here, in the footer. Oops, sorry about that. Brought down into the footer, for example, so people can easily get to it, because it'd be really easy to miss that change log. All right, the last thing we're going to look at here is the about page, which we have a nice photo of the team, a little bit about the team, some milestones, all of the different apps that they have, origin story, their goals. Love this. Love faces with names. This is awesome. Establishes that customer trust. We have a few testimonials. So this is a beautiful about page. Beautiful. All right. Okay, let's keep these docs open in case we need them. But yeah, let's go check this out. If we go to plugins, we will see you need the free version installed, which you can get from the WordPress repo before you install the pro version, or to work with the pro version. You can do it in any order, but I would just put the free one in there and then drop the pro in there, and then you are good to go. That's going to create this menu item over here at the left. We're just going to run through these individual menu items. This is our dashboard. Obviously, we have nothing going on, so we're not going to see any stats, but we will soon, predict. Down here in the bottom left, we can switch to light mode, it looks like. Yep. All right, that's cool. Here are the flows. We have not created one yet. We will do that together. Connections works along with webhooks. So if you need to connect two apps together and then they share data together, then you're going to have those webhooks and those connections from that. We're not going to mess with that in this video. We're just going to work with the flows. If you want to create a custom app in here, you can do that. We're not going to get into that either. They also have a nice import feature, it looks like, where you can import custom apps from other installs. Let's go to settings. Here you can get a notification of failed tasks sent to your email. So we can toggle that on, specify the email address, and you're good to go there. Depending on what it is that you are setting up, if you're setting up things that you're just trying to set as an automation and set it and forget it, I would recommend putting a failed task notification in there. And then if you work with a team, maybe set up an email distribution list so everybody on the team gets alerted, or certain people. If you want to preserve the flow logs, so a history, you can define how long that history is. Just know that whatever you set here is going to be stored in your database. Cloud-based cron runner, enable this option to trigger cron jobs from the cloud, ensuring that they run more accurately. So by default, you're going to work with the WordPress cron. It's built into WordPress core. The next level up is server cron. That also can improve your cron jobs, but they're taking this to another level, which is cloud-based cron runners, which I personally have never heard of. So I really can't speak to that. Maybe it's in their documentation. Let's do a quick search. Let's do a search for runner. Here we go. Yeah. All right. So here we have a nice doc about what the Cloud Runner is. So it's an external cron runner built into the plugin itself. So you don't have to rely on traffic. So the default WordPress cron is going to rely on traffic to trigger. But then you have, like I said, that server cron, which doesn't require that. But for whatever reason, maybe you can't get server cron going on, for whatever reason. So then you could go use this external cron runner. So that is nice that they have that. All right, I think that's it. Let's go create a flow. I'm just going to call this to IWP flow. We can start with a blank template. We can do an example flow. In this example flow, it's a manage bulk data and send it to MailChimp and Google Sheets, for example. And then we have another kind of example flow, Elementor form to email marketing. So someone fills out an Elementor form, they're going to, in this example, send it over to like MailerLite or Brevo as an example. So we're going to just do blank so we can see how that works. Okay, so we start here with selecting an app. Look at all of these apps. Tons and tons of apps. I think they said 207 plus. Crazy. Under tools, here we have what we talked about briefly earlier, the router, the conditions, the delays, iterators, repeater loops, JSON parser, XML, CSV. Planned is the PDF parser, email parser, and then you can add custom code in the future. That's pretty exciting. Powerful stuff there. So let's just do a test. I have WooCommerce installed. So let's just do a search for WooCommerce. Yep, that's in there. And there's a bunch of different options. So let's go over here on the right-hand side. Click select an app. And we'll just do that search again for WooCommerce. Now that I know that it's in there, I already knew that it was in there, but I wanted to show that. So a little tricky here on selecting. There we go. So I got it going there. Okay, we're going to go WooCommerce. We'll call it WooCommerce Core for lack of a better word, WooCommerce Core. When a new order is created, that is going to be our trigger in this particular test we're going to do. Okay. That looks good. Let's now go down here and let's click this plus symbol to do an action. So I'm selecting an app for our action. And let's go to WordPress. So we don't have to go and install another plugin or anything. Let's just do an action within WordPress. Let's go WordPress. Let's see what we can do here. Let's assign a new role. How about that? Create role. Add user role. Let's do this. Let's do add user role. Okay, I'm clicking on the user ID field. So we need to map that field. So I'm going to go to system because I know it's WordPress. It's part of the system. And we're going to choose user ID. We're going to click on the user role field there. And we're going to choose, just for fun, we're going to say shop manager. So if someone purchases a WooCommerce or makes a new order, purchases something, we're going to assign them the shop manager role. All right. Now, this is just, again, a test just to show you what's possible. You're probably going to want to get more granular than this. What is it? A specific product, a specific category. You're probably not going to assign a shop manager role. It just depends. Maybe it has something to do with like WooCommerce product vendors, and then you need to do something special with the roles. But this is just a test. Okay. A new order is purchased in WooCommerce. New order is created in WooCommerce, I should say. We're going to add the shop manager role. And then you can start, if you want to, you can get into clicking the plus symbol and do multiple actions if you want. You can get in and you can build, literally whatever it is that you want. And then as we saw earlier, you've got the other things. If you want to build something more advanced, what we're going to do for the more advanced stuff is I'm going to import one of the templates that we briefly talked about, and we'll see how that's set up rather than tinkering with it ourselves. Okay, so we've got that set up. We can test the flow once, but I'm just actually going to go do this. So we're going to go to the front end of the site. I've got an item in my cart. Let's go ahead and check out. Actually, first, let's do something else. Let's go find the user. We see here that they only have the administrator role. So let's now go make this purchase. Okay, let's go refresh the orders table or the users table, and we should see shop manager appear right here. There we go. So that worked beautifully. Let's go back over to our flows. In here, let's go back to look at our actions, and I'm going to check out the AI stuff. So let's hypothetically say open AI. Let's go open. There we go. We can go here, and then you can get into creating a chat. Let's click on that. This is where you get into adding your connections. You must have a paid open API account to use this feature. Yep, that makes sense. So you're going to bring your own API key over here. And then that integration will be complete. And then you can use OpenAI or any of the other AIs that you choose. You'll just do that same method. Okay, so let's go back to our Bit Flows dashboard. So now we can start to see some things populating here. Recent logs, the name of the flow, when it was executed, what the status was. It was successful in this case. Our top executed flows, we've only got one at this time, but you can have a nice listing of them in order of the top executed ones. So that's cool. Here we have our flows. We can toggle these on and off at will, clicking on these three dots. What does that give us? We can edit. We can check out the flow settings right here. If any node fails, block the execution or continue by default. We can also export our flow. So if we've got multiple WordPress websites with BitFlows installed, we can export and import into other sites, which is really cool. We can add a tag, it looks like. So maybe I want to call this Woo. And then we edit this flow and we can say edit, apply a tag. So then if you have a bunch of flows, then you can easily filter those. So if I go in here and filter by Woo, only the ones with that tag are going to show up. Pretty self-explanatory. All right, let's go create one more flow. We're going to do an advanced flow this time, and then I'll get you guys out of here. So name your flow. We'll just go untitled flow. I'm going to click on this example flow right here. Hopefully this shows us something really advanced. I'm not really sure what it's going to show us. There we go. Yeah, so we're going to have something advanced. So now you get to see trigger is a webhook, an incoming webhook. It's going to go into the iterator, the JSON parser, the router. It's got some conditions. It's got an action. It's got one action down here for this condition. Actually, let me rephrase. Once you get to the router, it's going to route you to this action for a particular reason, or it's going to route you to this set of conditions, which then has a delay, and then the action. So for example, if you want to set up all of this for a WooCommerce orders and then feed into like an email marketing system, you want to have a delay because you don't want all of the WooCommerce order emails coming through at the same time as your onboarding sequence, your email sequence. So you want to delay that a bit. So that would be an example of a delay. So I think that's what they are doing here. Okay. Here with my mouse, I'm just scrolling so you can easily see more of this flow in your view. I'm also seeing this drag. Yeah, you can also drag this around. So if you've got a really, really involved flow, this is really nice to navigate around, minimize, drag around. So I'm calling this the canvas. I'm not even sure what they call it, but you can minimize the canvas, drag the canvas. So that's really cool. All right, I think that's it, guys. Super clean interface, super easy to use, heck of a lot cheaper than Zapier. All within your WordPress website, which has advantages than using an external SaaS application. Some may argue against that, some may not. It's just your personal preference. But yeah, I love this. I'm going to use this. I've actually there's some things I need to do with this. So I was excited to get this video done. I'm going to install this probably right after this video. If you like what you've seen in this video, go to influencewp.com/deals. Find the exclusive deal for Bit Flows. And yeah, check it out. And I will see you all in the next video.